Hi, this is Bonnie with TLC Inspirations, and today we're going to do a couple of beginners hand embroidery Christmas balls. And so I've gone to the internet and found templates for my spear sections to create a ball. These are about 3 inch, and I have my wooden embroidery hoop and my fabric. And so I've traced my shapes onto my fabric. I'm going to use 5 shapes to create my first Christmas ball, and I'm going to embroider them on the fabric and then cut them out. And so for my first one, I decided to just kind of freehand some stem stitches, which you can find out how to do on a previous video that we published. And so I will do 5 of those. I'm using metallic embroidery floss. If you want to trace a design onto your shapes, you can use embroidery tracing paper. You can freehand, whatever you would like to do. So this is what I've chosen to do. And like I said, it's a stem stitch. And I just kind of freehanded back and forth in a vertical motion. And then I cut them out. And I'm going to sew them all together. So I've lined them up and pinned them. And when you get to the last edge, you're going to leave an opening. So you're just going to sew in, maybe an inch on each side, or even a little bit less than that, so that you can leave enough of a space to push your stuffing in there. So now I took it to my machine and I sewed all the edges shut except for the one edge that gives us access for putting our stuffing in. And we're ready to get started on that. Okay, so start working your stuffing in a little at a time. You're going to be surprised at how much stuffing it actually takes to get it nice and round and solid. You wouldn't think a little ball like that would take so much stuffing, but it does. And so you just keep on working with it until you get a nice shape that you're satisfied with. You have to put your fingers in there and push it around. And then once you're happy with the shape that you have, then you're going to want to close up the opening with a needle and thread. Just kind of push your edges in there and kind of pinch it together and use a whip stitch or a blind stitch to stitch it closed. It's a little difficult to work with the stuffing in there, but it's doable. You just got to work with it. Okay, so that's our first ball, and we're going to need a hanger of some sort, and I will show you how to do that on the second ball. For the second ball, it's done pretty much with the same process. I just did a little bit different design, and I used only 4 sections instead of 5. So the first ball is a little bit bigger because I used 5 spear sections, and this one I used 4. And I did an embroidery design on 2 sections and used plain fabric on 2 sections. And so I stuffed it in the same manner and sewed it together the same way. On this one I used a lazy daisy stitch and a straight stitch. So the lazy daisy are the flowers and the leaves, and the straight stitch for the vines. And now for the hanger on these, you're going to need a needle and thread. And I use a small piece of tape on the end so that I can push it through my needle. And then I just clip that off. And after I clip that off, then I'm going to put a knot at the end of my thread. Hopefully I'm going to put a knot in the end of my thread. It's not always easy. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so now I've got a knot, and I'm going to go in at the bottom of my ball and come out at the top. So I've got to kind of squish the ball down until the needle comes up through the top in the center. And then once I get a hold of it, I'm going to pull it all the way through until the knot stops at the bottom, like that. And then I'm going to go right back down right next to where I came up, and I'm going to come out at the bottom next to my knot. And I'm going to pull it through until I have my hoop at the top as long as I want it. And then I'm going to tie off the bottom, and I'm going to tie off the top right next to the ball. And there you have 2 Christmas balls. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you for watching.